Then, of course, the other challenge that we have is that when people, if I move today with a manager of a small bank in Uganda here, and they tell you that's the CEO of Wazalendo SACCO, they will take me to sit behind there. And that manager of a bank, however small it is, will be put here. Because there is that perception that SACCOs are for the poor people. Colleagues, I'm going to show you what we are, and then you will judge where we belong in the financial sector of Uganda, just shortly. What I'm going to share with you is not textbook knowledge, just what we do and what has put us where we are today. In 2020, I met with the Madam Kageiga here. She came to Wazalendo SACCO offices, and I think that's the time when you were hatching the idea of establishing a SACCO. She came like any ordinary woman who would come to a place, asked me so many questions, and I started wondering, where is this person from? But somehow we had to interact. I'd never met her, she had never met me. And somehow we had to interact, and at the end, when she had finished getting, I gave her a notebook, and she wrote so many things. At the end of the discussion, when she was leaving, then she introduced herself as a deputy RDC. That time where? Deputy RDC Luero. And I was so humbled, the way she had carried herself, and I was also satisfied with the way I had conducted myself before her. So I knew we were going to build something. And when she told me that you were going to build a SACCO for President's Office employees, I was very, very excited, because the President has always told us that we need to engage in collective solutions for solving individual problems. And this is exactly what we are doing here. We are trying to employ collective solutions to solve individual problems. I wish I knew that I was supposed to talk, but since I'm given very little time, I may promise that maybe next time I will be given an opportunity, I will come here. But why is it important for you members to be in a SACCO? From the experience that I have had serving in Wazalendo since 2019, I am completing my 6th year on the 31st August this year. I have discovered that it is the job of a cooperative society, if it wants to be sustainable, first of all, should be to mobilize capital and savings from its members. Any SACCO that will try to rely on external funding will always be on its knees, because you are at the mercy of the person that is supporting you. So I want to thank you. I've looked at your accounts here, and I've seen actually that you have more savings than the capital that you have here. And I will also comment on that shortly. The other thing is that you have taken a path of improving livelihoods of the people. I can assure you, colleagues, whatever amount of salary the government of the Republic of Uganda gives you, it will not be enough to solve your problems. But when you have somewhere where you can go and access credit, which is affordable, then you are able to solve problems. Just imagine if you are earning a salary of 1 million, for example, and you want to solve a problem of 10 million. How long will it take you to save? Remember, you have to eat, you have to pay school fees, you have to do all these other things. How long will it take you to save money and be able to solve that problem that required 10 million? I'm very sure by the time you finish, other problems will have come which are more than the one you are trying to solve. So SACCOs will help you to solve that one also and improve your livelihood. And it is very difficult to work with RDCs who are stressed. So I want to thank you, Haji Kakande, and the team that started this SACCO, so that you are able to do interventions to help our people to solve their problems. A driver who is driving a big person, when the mind is somewhere, has chances of causing an accident along the road. But if he knows that I'm going to drive this boss of mine to the place where we are going, and after that, when I come tomorrow, I will go to the SACCO and pick some money, that person is stable, because he knows beyond the salary there is another alternative that can solve the problem. Of course, most of us who are working in government and any other places, we have challenges of financially being excluded. I am sure if I asked all of us who are seated in this room today to pick land titles and parade them here, there will be very few people who will do that. Meaning that your capacity to borrow, where you have collateral, is very, very limited. So this society is going to play a key role in your financial inclusion. And then, of course, there is also financial education. It is one thing to have the money, but it is totally a different one to put that money to proper use. When we go to school, they teach us so many things, but financial discipline is not one of them. Here, the chairperson supervises people of PhDs and masters, and I'm very sure he has never supervised a paper on financial discipline. I don't know whether you have done one. I'm very sure you have never supervised one. So that discipline is taught here. We begin teaching our people small things of saving, of buying shares, and in so doing, we empower them. There are so many challenges of running SACCOs in Uganda here. I have interacted with SACCOs here locally, regionally, and internationally. Last year I was in Edinburgh, and I was training on SACCOs. But what I have discovered is that what is killing most of our SACCOs, number one killer is poor governance. And I want to thank you that you have a capable team and the patron is there. Once you sort out the issue of governance, then the SACCO can thrive. Wazalendo SACCO is what it is because we have governance which is good, and we have leadership by the management team that is also closer to excellent. So then the other thing is that we also have challenges of underfunding. And I want to request you that as you engage on the discussion of your proposals, open the purchase of shares, don't restrict it. Because that is the money that will stay in the SACCO. I did not want to start with telling you what Wazalendo SACCO is. I will give you that at the end so that you are able to compare and see where you are going. So there is a challenge of underfunding because there are limited savings, there is limited purchase of shares, but people want loans. So where are you going to get these loans if you're not able to put some funding there? Then I want to thank, I have been listening, Microfinance Support Center is supporting you. Let me tell you, colleagues, sometimes people are accused in the villages that they have stolen money of the members when they're establishing SACCOs. It is very costly to establish a SACCO. And you should thank the people who have sacrificed for you to establish a SACCO. Number one, the law requires that from day one when you are establishing a SACCO, you must have an office. You must indicate the registered office. So where will you get money to pay rent for the office? Thank you, Haji Kakande, for giving these people an office to begin with. The other one is that if you want a SACCO to run well, it should start on a digital foundation. Where will you get money to buy computers? And so many other things. So before you know, part of the savings of the members and the capital has been used to set up of the office. Tomorrow members are coming for money, and the money is not there. So you are very, very lucky that you are working with people who are very understanding, and also microfinance support has come in to give you people support. It is costly to establish a SACCO. So these are some of the challenges that are there. And then also there is also the issue of poor records keeping. If a SACCO is founded and built on a foundation of good records keeping, everything will move smoothly. I've been reading in your financials here, and they are well prepared. They are speaking, and you're able to see certain things. I'm going to make a few comments on them also later. Then, of course, the other challenge that we have is that when people, if I move today with a manager of a small bank in Uganda here, and they tell you that's the CEO of Wazalendo SACCO, they will take me to sit behind there. And that manager of a bank, however small it is, will be put here. Because there is that perception that SACCOs are for the poor people. Colleagues, I'm going to show you what we are, and then you will judge where we belong in the financial sector of Uganda, just shortly. The other one is that we have poorly managed accounts and audits. Sometimes people just come and prepare accounts and put them there. But if you're a person who knows accounts, you will check here, check there, and find that these things are. You have done that in your accounts, and I believe that they are so good. Then there's also the other challenge of limited digital transformation, again, where I want to give thanks for the Secretary for lobbying microfinance to support you. These are some of the challenges. Then, of course, the other challenge, which is in our SACCOs, that I have seen from experience, is limited product offering. Now, I want to encourage the board here, if you want this SACCO to be very sustainable, continuously get feedback from the members so that you are able to know what are their challenges, so that when you are developing your product, you are developing products that meet the challenges and the needs of the members. In Wazalendo SACCO, that's what we do every now and then. Then, of course, there is a challenge also of liquidity management. Fortunately for you, that's not your problem. I've seen in the books of accounts, you actually have more money than, your money is more than the portfolio that we have, and I was asking you, and I'm glad you talked about investing this money somewhere else. Maybe one thing that I want to encourage you is that sometimes when it comes to investments, you should be able to open and take opportunities where they are better for you. So if you restrict yourself to housing finance bank, sometimes they will take advantage of you. For us, our principal bankers are Post Bank. But we are able to send, when we have money to invest, we send requests for people to quote. But I want to emphasize that you should open up the capital, don't limit it to 3. Those ones where you give the minimum. Because the bylaw already gives you a safeguard that nobody should buy more than, is it 2/3 of the share capital? So you are protected in the bylaw. So allow people to buy shares as much as they can. Because at the end of the day, when you reach people should know that the benefit from the SACCO besides the loan is in buying shares. Because the day when you will start distributing dividends, it will be those who have more shares who will benefit from it. So you need to encourage people to buy shares as when they can afford them. It will be so good for you. The other thing that I want to talk about is capacity building. It is also an area that has helped us a lot. Whose capacity are you building? When we come to the leadership of the SACCO, by the time I came to Wazalendo SACCO, I was already a certified public accountant. And I already finished a master's in banking and financial services. But when I reached there, I discovered actually that I needed to be trained to customize to understand the SACCO business model. So you need to train the people, you need to train the board, you need to train the supervisory board, you need to train the few members of management that you have, and then the members to understand the business model under which they're operating. When you do that, decision making here, you will not shout here with people. Because when you mention something, people already know the direction at which you are going. And then, of course, the other one is that you need to, I'm glad that they talked about NSSF, then they talked about Microfinance Support Center. These are equally our partners. So you need to partner with some of these people. There are certain things that they can do to you. There is even UMI there, these training facilities. Because as the SACCO grows, issues of procurement will come, issue of performance management will come. There are so many issues that will come. You will not be able to conduct this training on your own. So there should be somebody that you can talk to give you this kind of training so that you are able to have a robust system under you. Investing in ICT infrastructure, you need to develop a strategic plan that deals with everything so that you are able to know. Because what if Microfinance Support Center tomorrow gets new leadership and they are saying that we are removing this, what will happen to you? So you need to have a plan for transitioning to have that independence in systems, or how to sustain that relationship, maybe by binding MOUs and things like that, so that you are able to move forward. Delivery channels is also very, very critical. If members want the money, how do they access it? In Wazalendo SACCO, presently, our members access money on about 4 platforms. They can go to the branch. We have very many branches that serve like a commercial bank. There are 12 of them. One is just actually somewhere near here. I think you always see one here. The Winton Road here. It works like a commercial bank. So we have 12 of those, and we are opening 2 more soon. Then we also have the ATM in partnership with Post Bank, where we can access any Post Bank ATM and access our money. We also have the over-the-counter, the mobile banking service, and we are now working towards the agency banking. We don't want to be anybody's agent. We want people to be our agents. So we are working towards that so that our members can have free access to money as and when they need them. Collaboration with government agencies is very, very important for you. And I'm glad that you already have collaboration with the Microfinance Support Center. The other person you need to look at is the Uganda Development Bank for development loans for your members. We also partner with Microfinance Support Center. They support our agriculture lending. We have agriculture loans which is given to our members at 12%. And then the money, a chunk of that money comes from Microfinance Support Center and UDB. So these are the things that you need to take advantage of, and many other government agencies that can help us to do some of this work. I'm very sure they will be very proud to support you. Tap into opportunities of low-cost funding in some of these agencies to support specific areas of your membership demand. Remember, when you go to Microfinance Support Center and UDB, they will not give you money for buying cars. So what are those needs that your members have, where you can get a facility from maybe Microfinance Support Center, maybe from UDB? You need to have those ones properly done. And then the other issue that you need to pay attention to is when an AGM like this, when you hold an AGM like this, allow people who have borrowed money from you, who have succeeded, to come and tell their colleagues the stories. That one speaks more than us speaking here, because they live with them, they work with them, they discuss their challenges together. But if one person now wakes up from there and says, and you display it there, says, me, I didn't have a house, I'm a driver, but now I've put up a house, it is here. Other drivers will see this man and say, I want to be like him. It is a better motivation than when we hear from other people, because we don't even know the source of their money. But ours, this one, we shall actually be knowing that they built a house from our loans. This is what is happening in the UPDF. Before Wazalendo SACCO, our people who worked in defense, I think Nachirunda was with us, isn't it? You know our situation, what it was like. But I can assure you the story is totally different today. To the extent that when I went to Wazalendo SACCO in 2019, our maximum loan size was 40 million. As I speak today, our maximum loan size is 500 million. So, and people are borrowing this money, and they are doing work. So you are able to do. Don't look at this SACCO today. Look at OPE SACCO 15 years from now, and you are part of it. And even when you are retiring, don't retire and go outside there. Retire and put your money here. Because these are the people who understand you. Remember, when you go to commercial banking, at 60, the banks are not willing to insure you because you're about to die. According to them, they think they have the calendar of God. So outside they are getting a loan. They will rotate you until when you give up. But here, Haji Kakande people will be knowing you. He's our patron. Your issues will be attended to the same way they were attended to when you are here. But when you go outside there, right now when you go there as Haji Kakande, they know that you are the secretary to the office, in the president's office. They will even prepare for you tea as they are processing your loan, because you are here. But once you have retired, they will tell the manager of the bank that the Haji Kakande is here. Say, you tell him I'm not around. The relations change. The relations are normally economic. So once that one changes, and then things will become difficult for us. I've talked about liquidity management is a key issue, which is not a challenge to you. So, for us as Wazalendo SACCO, where are we now today? Colleagues, SACCO is about numbers. When you have the numbers, you can see that growth. In 2005, when Wazalendo SACCO was started, they started with 30 members with a share capital of and savings of 33 million. That time. When we went to the banks in Uganda here, the commercial banks in Uganda here, nobody even wanted to open for us an account. I was working in finance then, a lieutenant at that time. Nobody wanted us. See, who wants the confusion of soldiers? But today, if I tell you the number of delegations I get coming to my office, looking for funding and money, you can't believe it. So, 2005, 33 members, share capital and savings, 33 million. 2025, June, 111,735 members. Share capital of 340 billion. Savings of 588 billion. A loan portfolio of 998 billion and an asset base of 1.2 trillion. Everybody wants to deal with that. And so don't be limited in thinking that this is a small thing. This is a big thing. And the chairperson, instead of encouraging those guys to open another SACCO, you can actually use this one. Because you are collocated, you can actually have this one and have the numbers. And these numbers will generate. If they don't want, let them come and join Wazalendo SACCO. Next year we are opening to the public. You can bring them there. But don't take them to start another SACCO. Is it proliferation of SACCOs, small SACCOs which are not viable. But we can bring Prime Minister's office here. We have a discussion and have this SACCO and they join this one. this will be good enough for all of us. So I've told you about Wazalendo SACCO. Our interest on loans is 12% for agriculture and then 13% for other loans. Then we have also developed another loan product arising from the demands of our members. We call it a cash flow loan. Now, where members can now pay outside the salary. Now, that one, the interest is 13%. That is the one where the maximum loan size is 500 million. But for salary-based loans, the maximum is 350 million. And people are taking this money and people are developing. We have the capacity to change our lives. We have it within our powers to change our lives. We have the capacity to mobilize capital for this country using the SACCO business model. The treasury bonds that government buys in our bank, some of that is our money. And Wazalendo SACCO money is there by the way. Because in our investment portfolio, of course, the priority in lending is loans first. Priority of our business is satisfying the demand of members in form of loans. So we put the money that we have, 70 to 80% of our money should be in loans. And then we do other investment in short-term investment, fixed deposits, whereby we keep money that we don't need now, and then when we need it, we can easily go and recall it. And then we also do investment in treasury bonds, where we buy government bonds and keep our money. I think we have about 100 billion there in that kind of investment. And it is also generating money. And why are we doing this? We seek to have a diversified investment portfolio, also as a risk mitigation. In 2019, when I came to the SACCO, I was coming from Air Force, where I was a director of finance. I was asking my board. I said, because I found when the money which was on loans was about 92% of our investment portfolio. But the standard, according to World Council of Credit Unions, is that it should be 70 to 80. So I was saying we are not compliant. How do we make this come down? So I told them that we need to invest in the treasury bills and treasury bonds. And we had a lot of resistance from the board. Then I asked one question. I said, what will happen one day if members are not able to take loans and we have not got this? He said, how can that one happen? It will not happen. Members will always be there. I said, what about if they are not able to reach the branches? He said, we shall spread the branches where they are. What about if you are not able to reach the branches? So eventually we agreed that I think it was a wise decision to have a diversified investment portfolio. 2020, we were preparing to have a GM on March 27th. On 23rd, there was a lockdown. That time, we were disbursing 17.5 billion per month. It dropped from 17.5 billion to 7.9. I still remember because I was under too much pressure. What are we going to tell the members? So, luckily enough, that time government needed a lot of money, so we put money in investment in treasury bonds, treasury bills. And that year, actually, when the year ended, we had registered a very high surplus of 49 billion, up from 24. And since then we have been able to generate a lot of money and give dividends to members. Last year, we made a profit, what the SACCOs call surplus, of 89.4 billion. This year, as I speak here now, yesterday when I was checking the records, we have already made 47 billion as a profit that we are waiting. So meaning that we shall be over 100 by the end of the year. So colleagues and friends, you need to plan these investments and also have a diversified investment portfolio. That will help us to do some of these things. You need to talk to your members and make them understand the benefits of being a member of the SACCO beyond having a loan. There are so many other benefits. If I had time, we would discuss all those, but I don't want to eat so much in Haj Kakande's time. Be compliant. There are things that the law requires us to do. Let us comply with them. For example, when you get a profit, there is that appropriation that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put 10% of your money into reserves, then you're supposed to put 5% into a revolving fund from this surplus here that you've made. Then you're supposed to put money on education between 1% and 5%. So you need to look at all these things. These are compliance issues that will make you a better SACCO. Sometimes people think that when we are working in the president's office, when we are working in the UPDF, when we are working in the police and prisons, that perhaps for us we can now do things the way we want them. Actually, Wazalendo SACCO, I want to believe in Uganda here, is the most compliant SACCO. Because for us, we have the image of government to protect and also the image of the UPDF to protect. So we don't want to be caught on the other side because people will not understand it. So I want to encourage you, these simple compliance issues, you deal with them decisively and effectively. We would talk much, but I want to promise you that, let me stop here. This is what I thought I would share with you, being given this opportunity for the very first time to come here and share with you. But if I'm given another opportunity to come and talk to the members, I will always avail myself because these are things that I do with passion. Thank you so much.